Welcome to How to Zoined. I'm Nona Vikman, the Customer Success Manager here at Zoined, and today I'm very excited to present to you all our exciting new feature, Custom Mertric Builder. It's now possible for admin users to define simple metrics specific for their company in Zoined. So let's say you're looking for a way to analyze your new campaign sales. Or maybe you have a way to calculate inventory sell-through rate that differs a bit from the main street way of doing it. You can now create those metrics very easily within Zoined portal, and there's no coding skills needed. So let's have a look at how to build a metric. First, you'll go to Settings and Custom Metrics. Then you should add a new custom metric and give it a name. Now, if your company operates in several languages, you should give the name in all of those languages. And the description is very important. It will not only be visible in the portal in the future, but it will also help our AI agent to use your custom metrics to give you more information. So this accessory sales proportion that I'm now calculating will obviously be the proportion of accessory sales of total sales, but I'll also want to exclude suppliers ANA and basic, because those suppliers don't have the best of margins, so we are not going to promote those supplier accessories in our new campaign. All right. Now that I've named it, I should choose a formula. So as you can see, we have 5 different options here. We've got a single metric, which basically means that if you want to filter any of the existing metrics in Zoined, you can do it with this one. For example, if you always want to view your sales without the shipping revenue included, you can do a metric excluding shipping, and it will always be visible in your report, so you don't always have to set up the shipping exclusion filters in each report. Same applies to web store sales or whatever is specific for your company. You can do sums, you can subtract, multiply, and divide, which we will use in this case. So now I'll select sales without tax, and I will filter it by the product category accessories. And in addition to this, I will also exclude the suppliers ANA and basic or basics. Now for the second metric. So in here, I'll just select sales without tax. And as you can see from this side panel, our formula is visible in here. Next, we'll select the metric group. And basically what this does is it will place your new metric in your metric drop-down lists within the new report builder and filter sections and dashboard sections. So if I select sales from here, this new metric will appear on the bottom of sales metrics list after I'm saving it. Now the format, it can be money, percent, or amount. So in this case, it would be percent since I'm calculating a proportion. And for aggregation method, I would select average. Basically what this means is what do you want to show on the total row in your tables? So if I would want to sum up the results of this metric, I would select the sum, but for percentage calculations, it would normally be average. Since if I maybe do a grouping based on stores to see which stores have the highest proportion of accessory sales, I don't want to actually sum up the percentages of different stores on the total row, but I want to actually see the average proportion across all of my stores, because then I will end up with my company total proportion of accessory sales out of company total sales. Then I will select the amount of decimals. You have the options to up to 4 decimals. And the increasing values selection here basically means that you have to define whether it's a good or bad thing if your metric increases. So now when we're aiming for as high a proportion of accessory sales as possible within this campaign, I would choose the positive here. But then, for example, if I was doing a cost metric, normally it is a negative thing if costs increase. So in that case, I would just select the negative from here. And visible hidden option, you would normally pick the visible, but if you do a metric that is consisting of several metrics, you would then hide the auxiliary metrics. There will be more material on multi-step metrics later on. Now I'll save my metric, and it will appear here under the list of my custom metrics. And then when I actually go to create a new report, my metric should of course be available, but it won't immediately be there. I will first need to refresh my browser. Here we go. And then when I create this table here, I can now add the accessory sales proportion as a metric to my table, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. Let's take a bit of the extra stuff out, and now we can see the accessories sales proportion for each store in my table, and the resulting row is actually the average. If I want to arrange my data based on the proportions, I'll just put it as the first column here. So it looks like Stockholm is currently doing best with the proportion of accessory sales. Let's save this one for later use. And now let's say I would want to add a new metric just for the sales of accessories, not the proportion. All right. Now I'll save the namings, and this time I'll create a single metric. So in here I would then select just the sales and filter it similarly than I did with the previous metric. So I would select the accessory sales and exclude the suppliers, ANA and basics. So now I would actually select the sales again for the metric group. Format would this time be money, and the aggregation method sum, because I want to sum up the store sales to get the total company sales for this particular metric. I again want 2 decimals, and the increasing values are a good thing. And now I'll save my metric, and let's go and add it to my analytics that I just did. So it's the accessories here. And now I'll again have to refresh my browser to get the new metric visible there. And here we go. So now we can see that Stockholm has been selling 100 euros worth of accessories within the last 4 full weeks. So that's basically it about custom metrics. We are adding to this feature later on, and we'll keep you all updated. But feel free to always give us feedback. What more would you want from this particular feature? And of course, you can share your use cases in the video comments and to us directly. Thank you all for watching. That's how you saw it.